Welcome to our first episode of Between the Horns, our 335 bi-weekly special, where we trespass into the dome of our tremendous faculty that is Devils. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape of our first bowl. It's Between the Horns, so I want it to be Between the Horns.
There's not a lot of room between the horns.
Are you uncomfortable?
I'm not.
I have a cushiony chair.
I can tell because I'm actually happy sitting into it as well.
All right. So this is Tech Sergeant Hale. You're a weather forecaster here. Well, you're a weather instructor here. What do you say to the populace that believes weather forecasters are correlated to fortune tellers?
There is a certain aspect of having a prophetic ability in this career field. However, most of it comes down to being able to apply the proper training that we do here in the schoolhouse. But if you want to get into the big picture of things, we are tasked with telling the future. So we're held to a more specific standard. I can't just be broad and be like, rain should happen. I have to say rain will start at 15Z and it'll end by 17Z. So there's a lot of similarities. We're held to a higher standard than they are. And it's our actual job.
Well, speaking of your job, tell me about your experience in the weather career field.
Okay, I joined on St. Patrick's Day of 2009. Is when I went to basic. At the end of that, of course, came here for initial skills training. Left here, and that was back when you could only go straight to an operational weather squadron. And I went to the 15th at Scott. I was there for 2 years, and operational forecaster there, points forecasting, doing TAFs for any installation that I was assigned to for the day. And then ended with being a shift supervisor right there towards the end of my tour there. Left the Operational Weather Squadron at Scott to go to Detachment 4 of the 18th Weather Squadron at Fort Campbell and did Army support for the next 4 years. Thoroughly enjoyed Army support. It was a completely different side of the house. It was unexpected. I didn't think you were able to do that kind of stuff in this career field, so it was a pleasant surprise.
That stuff.
Airborne, air assaults, run and gun, clear rooms, convoy operations, play with all the Army toys, and I mean, basically you're a soldier forecaster wearing the Air Force uniform. I didn't think that was an opportunity that we had here. I had heard other people that were airborne, but I was like, that would never happen to me because that would be awesome if I could do it. And then I got to go to do Army support. There was an airborne position that opened up, so I got to go to that school. It was my lifelong dream to be an airborne forecaster, so to actually put a check in that box was awesome. And then I deployed to FOB Salerno, Afghanistan in 2013. Got to see the actual tip of the spear, if you will, and it gave a whole new sense of satisfaction, remotivated me again, and then came back and, you do a lot of TDYs, Army support, and get to see really why we do what we do at the schoolhouse. And then I got selected for instructor duty at the end of that, and here we are.
So you're now your instructor at Keesler, where we take 2 years, 2.5 years of meteorology jargon and shove it into 8 months of tech school. How do you combat those intimidated doe eyes on the first day?
That's something that I try to work on every time I pick up a new class, and you learn as much as instructors they do. Usually my course of action is try to make it personal. I remind them of who I was before I joined. I was a factory worker from Tennessee, and actually I tell most of my classes that I'm naturally kind of an ignorant person. I've got to learn things. I'm stereotypical Tennessee Southern person with strong accent and bad grammar, and I have as steep of a learning curve as the next guy or girl next to me. So I tell them if I can do that, I came from building lawnmowers on an assembly line to being an NCO and a weather instructor, they ought to be able to do it too. And so just reminding them that how many people have been able to complete this course, and if they apply the proper techniques and just try to learn this stuff, they'll survive. They'll have no issues making it through.
All right. Failure is a natural happenstance in this career field. How does a counseling session work in this instance?
Forecasting failure or disciplinary failure?
Let's start with forecasting first.
Okay.
We're still on that train.
My experience with somebody that just absolutely drops the ball with the forecast is usually it launches some sort of investigation, especially if there was some sort of mishap or something on the other end. But as long as they've applied the techniques that they were instructed to do, the SOPs that they had in front of them, they put a check in every box that they should have put, and Mother Nature just wasn't compliant that day. Usually it's as simple as doing a forecast review so that we can get better at doing that and understand what atmospheric phenomena caused that. So it's you come out on the other side knowing much more than you did before you made the mistake, but your career is not going to be in jeopardy if you did what you're supposed to do. However, if it was due to something on that person's part, laziness or not following the SOP, not doing their job, if that's what it boils down to, it becomes a whole nother scenario that our leadership will handle. And I've never seen it result in a discharge by one instance, but it certainly will be corrected.
All right, so let's keep it in the schoolhouse realm. Why do people fail?
In my experience, there's a saying that goes, you don't fail to plan, you plan to fail. Something like that. I don't know.
I'll buy it.
Yeah. It's cost you $1 though. But so yeah, people that don't have a good plan about how to make it through the schoolhouse, or they don't take it seriously. We try to remind them that this isn't high school. It's more of a college scenario. It's not my job as an instructor to pass all of my students. It is my students' job to succeed in this course. And so by putting that responsibility on them and every day reminding them, this is what you are tasked to do. I'm here to help. I'm here to explain this book and use my experience to help you through the course, and let that level of seriousness stay there, and realize there's lives on the line on the other side, because we want people to have a relaxed environment. You can't learn in a tense environment. But if it gets too relaxed and they start forgetting that we are here to do a job so that our soldiers, sailors, Marines on the other side can have a weather forecast product and eliminate the enemies of the United States, or be there for the humanitarian effort, whatever it may be. If they can keep that in the back of their mind and understand why they're here, they do a lot better. And so to me, that's why they fail, is they get here and they think, well, this job, nothing bad will happen if I fail. I'll just be able to pick up some other job. And that's when you start dropping the ball, and you're not motivated. You don't have that personal motivator every day to go, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be awesome at this. Excellence in all we do went completely out the window, and they're like, yeah, I just fail and pick up another job somewhere else. And sometimes that's not always the case. But that's been my experience, is it's somebody that wants to learn, I'm going to fight for, and I'm going to make sure that they are here and they're going to make it through this course. Very few instances that it still won't be the career field for them, but the Air Force recognizes when you give it your all, and you'll still be set up for success somewhere else.
All right, so it sounds like you draw plenty of feedback from this job. What are some positives you can see in your family life?
Man,
You got a family.
Yeah, I do. I've got a really large family. Honestly, the craziness with this job helps me with the craziness that happens in my household as well. I've got my wife and I have 4 kids, ages 12, 7, 2, and 6 months. And a lot of this job is task saturation, being able to do multiple things at the same time and do it well, and recognizing that, understanding what's important at the time, because we have our duty priority checklist. Like you're going to respond to war orders first, and then it goes down, warnings and briefings and forecasts, and understanding what is the most important thing to do right now that I draw from that job. It goes to the same thing in my family life. What's the most important right now? That my wife and I's marriage is taken care of, that we are okay, that my kids feel loved, that us as a family, we have a relationship with each other, and we feel that we can draw on each other no matter what the scenario is. I want all my family members to know that. And then from there, it goes down to, well, did you brush your teeth today? Or, this is not how we treat other human beings. Or,
Brush your teeth today?
I did brush my teeth this morning. So I put a check in that box. But first, I made sure my family felt loved. But yeah, just understanding what's important and what priority it falls in, and focusing your efforts there. This career field has taught me a lot about that, and I'm able to apply it in my home life.
So the negative aspects that conflict with your family, this job in particular.
This job, there's long hours, and it requires a lot of personal investment in here, because any instructor that says that I'm just going to clock in, teach weather, and go home, they're lying to themselves, and I haven't come across an instructor that says that yet. You're personally invested, and so when your students are struggling, sometimes I'll walk in that door, and my wife can tell that, hey, is your class, are they performing well? Did you have an issue that you had to deal with today? And so realizing that, my wife has bought in that we are an Air Force family. It's not, I'm in the Air Force and they live in housing and Daddy does his job and then he comes home. They invest in this as much as I do. And of course, PII and security issues stay out of my family, but
it's not table talk.
Right, it's not table talk. Names are not used and things like that. But they recognize that we as a family are Air Force family, and what I do here directly correlates to our ability to enjoy military service, and they buy into that, and that helps a lot with deployments and PCSs and understanding that that's what we signed up for. We signed up to say, hey, Sergeant Hale's going to serve, or Airman Hale at the time is going to serve in the military. And he knows that his life might be on the line, or he might be halfway across the globe. We knew all that when we signed the papers. And we were mature enough to go, so when that happens, we're going to be prepared for that. And we're going to make it through it no matter what.
All right.
I didn't know you brought food.
Yeah. You want a shrimp?
I do. Are the tails already gone?
The tails are gone. Usually I like the tails because there's more meat inside of the tail.
You got to pick them out. There's no cocktail sauce.
I know. The seasoning's pretty good though. There's a hair on this one.
I'll take that one if you want me to. Okay. Excuse me.
It's fine. You're the guest. You
Oh.
can move it wherever you want.
I'm sorry.
Random rapid round of really relevant questions. Are you prepared?
As much as I'll ever be, yes.
Okay. Favorite season?
Winter.
Favorite 90s song?
There are no other seasons. Favorite 90s song? That's a loaded question. That was a fantastic genre. Spice Girls. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Scariest moment in your life?
I'm not scared of anything. That's not true at all.
What's your
Can I have
favorite?
5 more seconds on that question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Scariest moment of my life. Ooh, all my childbirths, because my wife and my kids both could have died at the same time.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
It's kind of scary.
What's your favorite letter in the alphabet?
Q, because no one uses it.
Cats or dogs?
I'm a big of the underdog, so let's stay on that topic and still underdogs. Can I do Cat Dog? Because that was a great cartoon, and it was in the 90s.
I love Cat Dog.
Awesome.
Do you remember the song?
Alone in the World is a Little Cat Dog.
Okay. Best children's movie?
Wreck-It Ralph.
Why?
Makes me cry every time because he goes, I'm bad, and that's good. I'll never be good, and that's not bad. No one's going to be better than me or something like that. I always forget that because I'm crying by that moment. He crashes into the volcano.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. That's supposed to come before
Do you
the
like
segment.
chocolate?
I hate chocolate.
Why?
Because it's so much flavor packed into one. Look, brownies are so confusing to me.
No.
Because they smell good, they look good, but then I take a bite and I remember I hate chocolate. But I love Milk Duds and there's chocolate in them, but it's not that chocolate.
I hate Milk Duds.
There's more chocolate for you if I hate it.
Milk Dud, okay.
I can have the Milk Duds, you can have brownies.
Night owl or morning person?
Oh, I'm becoming a morning person as I get older because,
Kids.
yeah.
8 times 7.
56.
All right. Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat just because the song is better, but I want to play Street Fighter because I'm not good at Mortal Kombat.
Who's
Unless
your
I get Raiden and I go back, forward. He just does that forward,
See, I
like
was a
diving
Scorpion
thing.
guy.
Yeah, you do the get over here.
Get over here.
I like Sub-Zero because he freezes them, but I forgot how to do it.
Well, we talk about Sub-Zero here at the course.
We do.
All right. If you could breed 2 animals together to defy the laws of nature, what new animal would you create?
Elephant and giraffe.
Why?
Because you'd be the largest, and the trunk would have to be large enough that his neck wouldn't bend. So you'd have the tallest land mammal and the largest land mammal to combine. And symbolically, that's my wife's and my favorite animal, so it's like a love story.
Oh, that's really sweet. I like
Yeah.
that. All right.
Plus, I
Why
wanna
haven't
see
you
an
asked
elephant.
me any questions?
I'm getting interviewed here.
Ask me a question.
Your favorite season, go.
Fall by far.
If you had to have chocolate in one of those seasons, which one would it be?
Winter.
So why did you change the winter for chocolate?
Because chocolate's involved.
7 times 7.
7 times 7 is 49 because of touchdowns. That's why I remember sevens.
Oh, so what about 3 times 9?
3 times 9 is 27.
'Cause
Which
it
is 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals.
Or 9 field goals because it's 9 times 3 and a field goal's worth 3.
That's true.
I don't.
What's the last thing you watched on TV and why did you choose to watch it?
Don't watch much TV. I'm sure it was a kids show. I actually think it was Descendants 2, which is a good movie.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
Favorite sports team?
Tennessee Vols.
Tennessee Vols. Huh?
But are we
What
going
was
like football because it's in the season?
Keep going.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Mm.
All the way. Because that's
History.
the only good team I have that's actually I'm a fan of.
Yeah. Last meal of your life.
Oh, I get to pick what meal I'm going to eat the last meal of my life? A ribeye cooked by my wife.
How's it done?
Oh, it's like almost completely rare.
Mooing?
Yeah, and then I don't have to worry about food poisoning because I'll be dead.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. What superhero power would you have?
Invisibility. No, change it. Teleport.
Why?
Because if you can teleport, then I can also fly. Because I can teleport up, and before I hit the ground, I can teleport again. Plus, I can make money doing that because I can deliver things for a nominal fee and beat out Amazon.
Best dad joke.
Ooh, why was Eeyore staring into the toilet? Because he was searching for poo.
One more.
What's a pirate's favorite letter? You have to give me a response. One might think though, but it's the C.
Oh my god. You've been given an elephant. You can't give it away or sell it. What would you do with the elephant?
I love elephants. I would keep it. I would never give away or sell an elephant. It's my favorite animal. We just had this discussion.
Sorry. Well, I wrote
Did you
these
know
questions before I knew your answer.
That a dude is actually the hair on an elephant's butt?
No, I did not know that.
That might be a lie, but I think it's in
That
the
might be a lie.
I think it's in the
Right.
dictionary. Go look it up.
All right. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm actually kind of already old, but I want to stay in weather and do National Weather Service stuff when I get out.
All right. Finally, a penguin walks through that door right now wearing a sombrero. What does it say, and why is it here?
I'm wearing the sombrero because I'm concerned about the UV rays at Keesler. And what was the follow-up question?
Why is it here?
It's,
What does it say?
It's here to trade places with me so I can go to where I've always wanted to go, and that's anywhere colder than this. He's doing me a favor.
I like that.
Yeah, Ping Bro.
Ping Bro, that's his name?
Yeah, I guess you could call it a ping win.
Well, that was our first induction of Between the Horns. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to try to make this 2 times a month and peace out.
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly? Oh, that's what bi-weekly means.
I think so.
Right.
Unless there's 5 weeks in a month, and I don't know what we would do.
There's only 4 weeks in a month.
Well, some there's 5.
I was born at Leap Day. How many weeks in that?
There's only 4. Well, then there's an extra day in that one. Sorry. Trying to do your conclusion.
Bye.